episode 13, supposedly week 13, the 13th session, and we're joined by a recurring cast here today. We have Joe playing Robin. We have Mike, one of the three Mikes, playing a Sham Iron Fist. Carl with Kresic. You may remember him from 10 weeks ago. Feels like forever. And Warleko back with Rakust. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Okay. I'm getting better at remembering people's names. Let me get my notebook out. In the meantime, hello, I'm Blage. I'm the person who is going to try to run this and fail miserably. I'm the GM, and we're going to be playing a spot of Dungeons and Dragons today in a mythical fantasy world far, far away, where elves prance about and dwarves stomp around with their iron-shod boots. So what's been new with me? I've been enjoying my Easter holiday. I had some very nice oven-cooked rice today, like from Iceland. You just shove it in the oven and it cooks itself. It was
That sounds
interesting.
horrible.
It was very nice, except for the fact that it was cooked from frozen. So it was like, oh, it's lovely, and then right in the center there was like a block of ice, and it's like it was in the oven for 40
the ice
minutes.
dessert.
It was in
Wow.
the oven for 40 minutes, just cooking, and then just one bit of it was cold, and I was like, it actually wasn't too bad, apart from, the icy bit. But yeah, planning to go watch Batman vs Superman. I've heard from my store owner that it's very good, and I should store owner, the person that works at the shop local, that it's really good, and I should go and watch it. I was kind of sitting on the fence about it because it's, I don't know. The one I'm really waiting for is Suicide Squad, but that doesn't come out for months. I've been playing XCOM again. I've dropped down to a lower difficulty. I'm now playing it on Commander. I couldn't. The pain. I've died 56 separate campaigns now. It's just death and death and death and death and death. It's legendary as impossible. Well, not impossible, but just I don't have the time to die that many times. I just don't. What else? Nearly finished on Jessica Jones. I've still got one episode to watch. Been rewatching Deep Space Nine, so that I've actually been watching the episodes back to back rather than when I originally watched it. I watched it sporadically, and I'm on the final season of that. My roommate gave me a copy of Deus Ex: Human Revolution. I played like 2 hours of that, and it's like 3 years old, and I was like, no, the graphics, why are you so terrible? But that's because Mankind Divided comes out this year, so looking forward to that. Not much going on with me. The weather was being nice this weekend, except for really heavy wind, because there was Storm Katie coming through this way. Storm Katie, that's an interesting name for a storm. Oh no, Katie's on her way!
I never really understood storm naming.
I think it's just so that when you name a storm, you can like go, oh, Storm Katie's, oh, that damage caused by Storm Katie, just so you can like, rather than go, oh, that one storm a couple weeks back, makes it easier to name them.
Sense.
And I think it's the heights are female names and the lows are male names, so all the bad weather effects have female names for some reason.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it only hit the UK. I don't know if anyone else is from the UK, but fences were blown over, plant pots were broken. Woo-hoo! We have a great
Tiles
weather
fell
in the
down.
UK.
Oh my, tiles.
Well, I think the worst effect that hit me was it was really windy. When I was trying to sleep, the wind was just going. It took me hours to get to sleep. It
was colder than it should have been in the sun.
Oh, that's
Should we have a moment of silence for all the plants lost from when they were slightly blown over?
Oh.
I think that's enough. I think
England
that's
okay.
enough.
But other than that, I mean, same old. Prep for D&D. Been doing a bit of prep for Stars Without Numbers campaign. So interesting that you mentioned that. But that's just because I've been using the faction system for this. It's made me thinking about Stars Without Number. Plus, I've been watching a lot of Swan Song and Adam Coble. So I think that's everything with me. So Joe, I nearly called you Robin there. That's how bad I am. Joe,
Either works. I respond to both.
how's your week been? It was a week since I've seen you.
No,
No, 2?
oh man, it's
2
ages.
weeks. Yeah.
I think at least two.
This will be your
Um,
5th session, though. I am right in that.
It will be, yes.
You're beating out Hentai. He would have
I
been
am.
here today, but he just
Indeed.
couldn't make it.
No, I'm great. I'm on holiday now for Easter holiday for schools, so I'm enjoying that. It's just really started for me. I've still got another 12 days to go of it. But hey, if you work in schools, you get lots of holiday. Them's the perks. What have I been doing? Oh, lots of interesting things. I ran my usual D&D session with Mike, and I also ran a one-shot of 5th edition on Saturday, which also included Mike. He also had Honey Badger and Paper Scraps, which are also from this campaign. I think it went well. I don't know, I'm the GM, it's always hard to tell. Mike, did I run it okay?
I will talk about this later.
Okay. Yeah. So I ran that, and then on Sunday I did the old board game night with some friends over. That always happens, that's good. What are we watching? I've stopped watching American shows and started watching some good old British ones again. I've got the Peaky Blinders. It's you not watched it? It's good. It's good. Pre-World War II gangsters in Birmingham. Yeah.
Yeah, with
all
lots
I'm
of English
imagining now
accents.
is just
I'm gonna
a
shake
Birmingham
you,
accent.
mate.
Yeah, it's very, very English and mate. It sounds racist, but the only really good TV shows are English ones. I mean, yeah, just saying. Like they're definitely the best. And also,
Some
watching,
ads
I really
German
like House
fancy.
of Cards.
and also watching Utopia, which is another UK show, which I've been meaning to catch up on for a while. That's also really cool. I would recommend that one. Other than that, no, just bumming about around at home because I'm on holiday now.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Oh.
I was going to stop you when it said it sounds a bit racist. I was going to be like, wait, if it sounds a bit racist, maybe you shouldn't.
No, when I start a sentence like that, you stop me. I'm the German guy here.
Oh. Okay. So speaking of board game nights, that reminds me. Had one of them on Saturday, but it was quite short for my participation. I played Masquerade, which went by really quickly. Kind of like
I
Coup.
love that game.
Kind of like Coup, but for more players. It went by really quickly. I looked at the rules and I was like, this is gibberish. It makes no sense. We played it. We loved it. We played it again. Loved it. Then we played a bit of Cards Against Humanity, and then I had to bail because trains were having to be caught by me. So yeah, that was also on a weekend. So Mike, how about you? What have you been up to? It has been a week.
No, 2. You didn't let me participate last time because someone
good.
else stepped up.
Good. Excellent.
Still heard about that.
Sorry,
As
it
you
was
should
me.
be.
Yeah, it was actually our friend over there. So, thanks. I'm gonna let you die this week. No, actually, this Saturday I have seen Batman vs Superman, and I was on the fence about it before because critics claim it's not that good. Blah blah blah. It has 33% on Rotten Tomato critic-wise, but public opinion-wise, it has like 78 or something, and I really loved it.
Good. That's what I want to hear, because the thing is,
No,
I was on the fence about it a lot, and then
Critics
like I
claim
say,
it's too dark and Batman kills people. Who? I was like, yeah, Batman, kick ass! No, it was great.
Okay,
You have to have a little bit of a background on Batman and Superman, especially the latest Batman, Man of Steel, Superman, Man of Steel, the movie before that. If you haven't seen that
the
one,
same as Superman, isn't it?
yeah, and if you haven't seen that one, that's the whole background story for Superman. So you might want to catch up on that one first, or just read a review of it or whatever. Because if you don't have that background, you don't understand the whole first 15 minutes of Superman. And are like, what's happening? Who is that guy? Why is this? But yeah, after you know that, I loved it.
And
It's
apparently
really
a lot
dark
of critics were moaning about the choice of actor for Batman,
No.
Ben Affleck. Or
No,
something like
no. Great. Both Superman and Batman. Ben Affleck, great Batman. Really good. Really dark and cringy and brutal. I loved it. Both of them really good.
that. Okay, because I was like on the fence, but I went to my local shop and the guy behind the counter was just like, "Go watch that movie," and I was like,
No,
"I'm thinking about
it's
it." And
great.
he was like,
fun.
"It's great."
It's great
So,
fun.
I'm
It's
good-
not
I'm
as good
with
as
this.
Not as good as The Dark Knight Rises, but still up there.
Well, that's got who's the actor? I'm forgetting his name, but that's got the actor in that series.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, love him. Speaking of which, I really need to watch American Psycho at some point. Really need.
You haven't
at
seen
some
it?
point, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
You're the one single person out there who hasn't seen it?
Well, the problem is I really want to watch it at some point, and I never get round to it. I'm just one of those
Do that.
people. Is there anything else going on with you since seeing you
Yeah.
last?
As Joe mentioned, he rolled a one-shot for us. And it was actually quite fun, gotta be honest with you. It had some sort of travel mini-game in it. Unlike the one you're using, it was multiple traveling hunting parties, and we were moving the hunting parties trying to catch a murderer, and Joe was moving the murderer around the hexes secretly, and we had to read tracks and catch up with him. So it wasn't pure hobo murder slaying D&D, but it was fun. And it was the first time I've ever tried a magic user character, which I will revive as the Haven Cartographer in Memoriam.
I see. You already got plans for naming.
Yeah, I've got it all figured out.
So we're not going to be visited by another Henry Hendrickson?
No, there can only be one. There can only be one Huffington.
No, Harry Henry Huffington. There we go. I've got.
Besides, I wouldn't like make you hate me more by getting more Etaplotians into Haven, so you can have the accent going.
Oh, don't worry. I'm already working on destroying Etablot. You're going to go back there in a couple months, and it's just going to be a ruin filled with monsters.
Yeah, and one slab of stone saying, "Here lies Harry Huffington of the Etablot Huffingtons."
His voice
in
was
pieces.
too annoying. He couldn't live.
But don't worry, the cartographer will be an old guy, so you'll have to make an old person's voice all the time.
That's easy. Oh my.
No, higher, old gnome.
Oh my. Oh dear.
Yes.
Oh dear. Where did I put the tea? Oh my. Oh dear.
Okay, no, I'll revise that. I can't bear it.
I've dropped the ink. Oh,
It's
it's
animal
spilled all over
Friday.
the map. Oh, could you help me up? I built a human-sized table and I'm too small.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Please, no.
So, Carl, how have you been? It's been 2-3 months since I
A
started
long
this.
time.
A long time. So what you been up
Oh,
to?
my God.
How's life going?
Life's been fine. I'm home now, which is why I'm further away from my desk for Easter from uni. I've actually not been doing that much. I'm pretty boring. Been doing lots of assignments and just getting life done.
Yeah, get that out
Try
of the
not-
way.
Yeah, trying not to fail uni so I can play
It's a
more
smart choice.
tabletop RPGs in my life.
Sorry,
But
you're a
only
student.
doing the
You
bare
don't do
minimum
much.
just not to fail. Be honest.
Yeah, exactly. If I can,
Yeah, been there, done that.
you just get over it. I've not failed. Boom. Then it's done. My life.
Not
Sorted.
failed equals win.
Did you get a chance to watch Deadpool in the last 3 months?
I did watch Deadpool.
Enjoy it?
It was really good. I've watched it. I've only watched it twice. I watched it once with Scarlett, with my girlfriend, and I watched it like another time with my dad and my mum, which was slightly awkward during some scenes, but
Yeah. Well, you can always, do what I did and watch Game of Thrones with your mother.
Nice.
Why would you?
Because you really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I go back home and she's like, "Oh, did you bring Game of Thrones? We must watch it."
is that actually how your mum sounds?
No, she doesn't. And if she ever heard me saying that's how she sounds, oh dear, no, it's not.
Yeah, you'll not be welcome anymore.
She'll be like, "Oh, you want some cheese? No, get out."
Jesus.
But leave the Game of Thrones DVDs.
Oh god. So watch anything else lately? You been watching any series?
Not not really. I've been watching The Walking Dead, which isn't too bad. Eh.
Which season of the Walking Dead are you on? The current one?
Yeah, I'm all caught up now.
Okay. Well, I know nothing about that then. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
remember
when did you stop watching?
when they went to the farm, it just kind of
Oh, of
petered off
course.
for me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know.
I loved it at the start, and then it just kind of went. It had a quiet moment, and I was like,
It's exactly
Yeah.
the point where I stopped watching it.
If
Yeah,
anyone
me too.
wants if you want to jump on board, just skip that entire season. Everything you can just read about it if you need, but then just start season 3. Just skip that whole thing.
it's fair enough. Okay. So, Waliko, how have you been? It's been what? Must have been at least 6,
1
7
week.
days.
Yeah, I was here last season. So what happened in between these sessions? I had my birthday. I'm now 22 years old.
An old man. Do you feel
yeah.
the weight of life pressing down on you yet?
Not yet. Soon. What else happened? Play the Heavies campaign. Nothing much. Mostly that. My life's pretty boring. I don't do much. I just sit around, do stuff for school, and wait for the day to pass.
Are you another student? I always
Yeah, I'm a university student.
Oh, Rajay, we're surrounded by students. These layabouts.
Oh, if only I could be a
Hey.
student again.
I'm not officially a student anymore.
Oh, shut up. You
If
don't
you-
work till September. You're still a student.
Finals are done. I'm free as a bird.
No, I remember when I was a student. Good times, good times. But alas, once you graduate, you have to get a job.
A long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh, it's only 2 years, I guess. Not even a full 2 years, probably, since I graduated. Yeah, it's probably like a month. No, a year and 8 months or something. Graduated.
Not too
It sort of just goes into a blur after you graduate. There's no structure
Yeah,
to
well,
life.
when I graduated, I spent like 6 months pretty much doing nothing. I went on holiday for a month, and then I just kind of potted about generally, like looking at job advertisements, but not really doing the effort. And then the
Oh.
new year occurred, and I realised, wait, nothing's changed. Oh yeah, I actually have to do applications, and then I actually.
Yeah, I'm not in a school anymore. Nothing gets done for me. I have to do it myself. This is terrible. I hate being an adult.
I know.
Yeah, like I left uni and I had to look for a job for like a year before I got anywhere. It was very frustrating.
Yeah, I was looking for a job for 6 months, properly, and
Yeah.
then one of my friends who graduated same time as me, he went, "Oh look, I've got a job and someone's leaving. Someone's leaving. You want me to just give you my human resources manager's email?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I just sent him an email, and then it was like, "Oh, well, yeah, you have the qualifications. Come on down." And I was like, "I can start immediately. Give me a job." And he was like, "Yeah, okay." Oh god, I spent a week in a hotel. Jeez, before I got my house. Well, apartment. It's just like, not a pleasant thing. Although it's extremely nice coming home in quote marks every day to like a laid out bed with like little cups of tea, and it's just like. Although it does feel very weird, like coming back to a hotel with like a bag full of sandwiches. It's like I'm not paying for their fancy food. Anyway, so I think we should progress on to the gameplay, or at least the introductions to gameplay and the downtime and the characters. So, for those of you who don't know, which is nobody, I don't know why I pretend there's an audience. I guess it makes me feel better. This is the world of Beyond the Bridge. It's kind of inspired by West Marches, campaigns like that. To the east, there's a big, massive empire, tyrannical, bureaucratic, very dull. And to the west, there's this great river, spanned by a single bridge, and beyond it, there's just this kind of outland filled with isolated communities, horrible monsters, ruins inhabited by weird things. A place where adventurers can go and have a bit of fun. It's also where the Empire exiles anyone that doesn't like them. I mean, if they're not just executed outright. And in this harsh land, there's a little colony called Haven, where the adventurers all start each session and venture out in search of riches, glory, and fame. So Haven's not doing too badly for itself at the moment. It's still growing quite slowly. The caravans coming from the east are a bit tattered and ragged. A couple have been disappearing. And there are also a couple caravans coming from the west, but they're very sporadic, from Itablut. And the little community itself, it's growing up quite nicely. And there's now stables with some horses, the Iron Fist stables. It's all very, very pleasant. But who are the brave adventurers who inhabit this little community? So, Joe, would you like to tell us a bit about Robin and tell us what you've been doing in the meantime? I'm assuming you already have worked out your finagling with a sham.
Yeah, lots of things happening. So, yeah, Robin Hedgehopper is a little halfling fella. Ginger, curly hair. He's a paladin, but he's not strong like other paladins. He wears leather armor and has a little cloak, which he's had to go and buy a new one, so it doesn't look dirty anymore. Well, it probably does because he's already been put to good use working around town. He's a typical hobbit-type character. He doesn't wear shoes, and he's always going around town, just being a general nice fella and helping out everyone. Asham and Rakust are going to be building some stuff, so Robin's going to be putting some money towards that. But yeah, if you want to do their downtime actions first, because
and get back to you.
Yeah, I want to let them build the stuff first, and then yeah.
Okay. So Mike or Wallacre, which one of you wants to be the first to? I mean, okay. So left to right it is, Mike. So describe Asham to the audience in quotes, and tell us what you've been doing in the 2 weeks you've been spending in Haven alone.
Well, Asham Iron Fist, former gladiator, pit fighter, all-around muscly badass of the Empire. Now newly development tycoon of Haven. A dwarf barbarian, muscled, scarred. Since 2 weeks ago, he now has a new branding scar that looks like scale mail all around his shoulders, and his formerly magnificent beard is now short cropped as well as his hair. He still drowns his sorrows over that incident in beer, but he spent the last 2 weeks pushing his developer career by building a cartographer in Haven.
Okay. So you've sought out an individual. Who's this individual? Describe him to us.
He's new in town. He's Burgle Stumblebeard Brimbottom, gnome.
Sorry, could you
really
say that again?
Burgle, Burgell, Stumblebeard Brimbottom.
Stumblebeard.
That's the middle name part.
Brimbottom.
It's explained he's really old. He's a really old gnarly gnome. Always says stuff like, most peculiar. Yeah. He's an old gnome, and Stumblebeard, because he has a long, long beard, and he's rather clumsy. Some might call him starting to be senile. Others might just say he's thoughtful and thinks about stuff. Rumor has it he has some magical abilities. No one knows quite yet. But yeah, he's generally wise and interested in exploring that new world that offers up the Beyond the Bridge. And to do that best, he is into maps.
Okay.
So he's a cartographer.
You're spending your downtime action putting down 50 gold, buying him the inks and papers, maybe, ensuring that he has an assistant to stop him destroying everything.
And building him a small cartographer's house thing.
Okay. So you pay the lease on a property and make sure the holes in the roof aren't too leaky. Okay. That's 50 gold on your downtime action, and you get access to this. So you are Mike. There we go. Boop, boop. So if you look in the handouts, you should now have a thing visible to you, and it is the map, the basic map that you are provided. And this is, of course, can be upgraded in due course by people going to the cartographers during their downtime and helping him out. Since you built the cartographers, you just straight up get a map for free, so you have that as a physical object. And anyone that spends their downtime at the cartographers can buy a map for 10 gold. And they will buy the most updated map.
Yeah, for the others who can't see it, it looks really cool and is probably really useful, just saying.
It's also quite limited at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think, you know, he's been speaking to the locals and they've been walking around town, and you've probably ventured outside Haven's borders a little, and he's asked around at the tavern and found where these nodes of interest are, such as the ruined fort, the ruins of Belkane. What else is on that map? And other such things that are on the map. So, yeah. Burgle Stumblebeard Brimbottom hands you the rolled up scroll, and it's like, "Oh, thank you, young man, thank you." Oh, fuck! And falls over his beard on his face, and he's like, "Oh God, oh, I've spilled ink in it." And he like picks up his beard, and it's stained this dark blue where he's like tripped, and it's fallen in an ink pot, and he's like, "Oh, I'll have to go wash my sorrows away with some ale." And wanders off. Okay, so that's what you've been up to. So, Carl, what's Kresic been up to in the downtime?
It's been a long time.
It's been nearly, oh god, how long has it been in world? It's the 23rd of March in world, so it's been 2 months in game.
Yeah, so, you know, what has he been up to? Probably just, like, working around town, because, you know, he got slapped around by a large slime monster last time.
A sulfurous sludge.
Yep. So he's sporting a new, slightly burned flesh in the nice, I don't know, shape of a whatever they slap you with.
Tentacles,
Just like
always.
blobs, basically. They slap you with
Tentacles. Tentacle blobs.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, just some nice good old-fashioned hard work,
Okay.
wherever people need it. Lifting boxes, reaping, you know, crops, putting up shelves,
Okay.
all kinds
So-
of lovely things.
If you want to go ahead and roll a d6, you're level 1, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's how much gold you'll make. In the meantime, tell us what Kresic looks like.
Alright, so to describe Kresic, he's a human, so like the tallest person in this group. Almost by default. You know, dark hair. It's a little bit long. He's quite big, like quite clearly tough, martially trained. Big chainmail armor, a shield, and a giant sword on his back. Looks like he's been on the road for ages, even though he actually hasn't. He just clearly doesn't look after himself as he probably should. But, you know, he can fight.
Okay, and he's got a sword and shield and armor?
He has a great sword, a mace, a shield, chainmail, a holy symbol around his neck.
Excellent. Okay, so Warleko, what's Rakust looking like, and what's he been up to?
Alright, so Rakust is a tall dwarf, a tall mountain dwarf. He's bald and has a braided beard. Dark brown braided beard, yeah.
Was your beard damaged?
No,
last
no, that
time?
was
No,
the.
no, no, no.
No, he
No, no,
wasn't.
this was mine.
Ah. Okay.
What have I been up to? I came back to Haven after last week. Curious about the Fae, but I mostly let it pass because in the meanwhile I found a somewhat abandoned structure, and Rakust was thinking, I could build something here. And he took out his pouch, he started counting his money, and he was thinking, 75 gold for a forge, 75 gold for an anvil, plus manual labor, plus stock, and he was counting the money and he saw that he didn't have enough to build a blacksmith. And he was sitting in the notice board looking at job requests, seeing where he could get more money for this blacksmith. And I think he was approached by 2 individuals that were about to make him an offer he couldn't refuse.
We've done one mission before together, Rakust, I believe.
Yeah, we have.
I don't know if you've gone with Asham, so maybe you see me, you recognise my face, and you get talking to Robin about it, and Robin sort of goes, "Well, I could spot you the rest of the gold, but I also have a friend who I'm pretty sure wants to get on it. He's dwarf yourself, like yourself, and he's into forges and that, and we built the stable together. Do you want to go and meet him?" And I go and introduce you to Asham and propose that Asham, we both put in 70 gold
Yeah.
to pay.
I agree
Could
as
you-
long as the name of the forge has something iron in it.
Sure. I
Also,
don't have any. I haven't thought about the name of the shop, so any suggestions are acceptable.
Yeah, so Rakus, you got 60 gold, right?
Yeah, I got 60.
Yeah. So me and Asham will put in 70 each.
So-
no, you put in 69 and I put 71, so I'm the majority holder.
No.
That
We're
one
doing a
provides me the
partnership.
naming
70-70.
rights.
You can put
But I
70,
get the naming right.
and you get the naming rights. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair.
I'm in.
I'm not really bothered that much, so.
Okay. So, do you have an idea of who you're going to find to run this blacksmith? Who are you investing in, or is this in my hands?
I was thinking about a dwarf, because Rakus doesn't trust humans, mostly because they're Empire affiliated.
Well, why would you trust humans? Totally.
Unless they prove me that they're not Empire affiliated, because I don't like the Empire.
Besides, they can't smith for
What's a good dwarven name? We need
Okay, so Kotor Chainbrand.
Sure.
Okay.
Nice.
So I think it'll be called Iron Chain Forge.
Iron Chain Forge.
That's good. Acceptable.
It's a good dwarven name. So, Iron Chain Forge. So you invest, is it 200 gold in the
Yeah,
blacksmith?
It is.
I think it is.
So
Yeah.
you invest this cash in, and you buy an anvil, and you buy in some workers, and as you're asking around town, you find this dwarf who was a master smith in the Empire, and you've heard this story so many times, but his craftsmanship, though it was appreciated, people always walked by and said, "Oh, he's a dwarf, he'll steal your money, he won't give you a fair price." And people, when their swords would break through their own misuse, would go, "Oh, he's a bad craftsman." And of course, when he spoke against this, the Empire ran him out of town and exiled him. And now he has nothing. So you invest with him, and he says, "Thank you. It's good to see a fellow dwarf that stands up for his and his own." And he hands you a warhammer, and he says, "Since you bought me some proper smithing tools, I won't be needing to use this." And he hands it to you, and you can see that the head of this warhammer is made out of a dark black metal, and the haft is polished mahogany. And he says, "It's done me well fending off the bandits, but I guess I won't be needing it if I'm settling here. Use it well.
Thanks. I will use it well.
So the warhammer he gives you is called the Smith's Ire. And for absolutely no reason in particular, you should remember that that is the Smith's Ire when you use it.
Not magical at all.
No. Normal damage dice. Nothing different about.
Nothing different about it, no. Nothing at all.
No, it's a completely
just-
regular hammer.
It's a completely regular warhammer that's just very, very exquisitely made.
Not slashing damage, I hope.
Let's just say you should ask a magical person about it every once in a while when you meet one.
No, it's completely mundane. Completely mundane. Okay, so that's what a shaman or a Kusta are all about. So I think we're gonna have to swing back to Robin. Oh, Robin. What were you wanting to do?
So
You've
looking over
invested
everything.
into Rakust's endeavour, and now that
Yeah.
KOTOR Chainbrand has established a forge, its bellows are pumping fire into the air. What is it that Robin does with his downtime?
I think. Well, I want to ask. So the furrier, custom garments. It can produce custom furs. What does that do for us?
Aesthetics.
Okay.
At level 1, I believe the Furrier is just an aesthetic. If you upgrade it, it might be able to make furs out of magical furs that provide some benefit to you, or increase the craftsmanship of them so that you get a craftsmanship die, which allows you to do stuff like, oh god, it does the same things as when you use it on armor.
Yeah, basically.
But
a
I'll
heavy
have to
armor.
look it up in my
Right.
notes somewhere. It's hidden in there. But at level 1, it's just aesthetics. It's like if you skin a creature out in the wild and you go, well, I've killed this great lion, and you walk into town and you're like, I want to have a cloak made of this lion, and I go, well, there's no one in town to do that. And you're like, oh, well, I do it myself, and you roll a nat 1, and you're like, it's essentially, for your
Yeah.
peace of mind.
Yeah, I think while helping out around town, Robin finds a quite tall but quiet man who happens to be like a leather tanner. His name is Huskuld Knutsson. He's a big Viking dude. Yeah, that's how it's spelled. And I get talking to him and learn that he's actually quite skilled, but he's really shy and doesn't want to practice his craft openly. And Robin eventually convinces him to like open up a tanner's shop. So I'll invest 100 gold into the furrier.
Okay. A lot of buildings being made this time. I guess that's what happens when people make money. Okay, so he gives you a dagger. And this dagger has a handle made out of a stag's antler. It's made out of bone. And the blade itself is highly polished steel, and you can see there's some like Celtic knots, I guess, engraved along the blade. And he hands it to you and he goes, in my best Viking voice, he goes, oh, thank you. Yeah. Thanks. If you ever need anything, well, you'll know where to find me, I guess. Thank you. It's a skinning knife. You use it to skin things. So you know, I don't want you ripping up what you're bringing to me. So, yeah. And he like shuffles his feet, and he's just like this 6'4" massive person, and he's just broad at the shoulders as his sham is wide. He's like, yeah. He just kind of walks off.
Great.
Okay, so that's a stag antler dagger. Just remind me whenever you use that to skin an animal. Also, it's a dagger, so you can stab people with it. However, it's not very aerodynamic, so throwing it imposes disadvantage on you.
Okay.
Just because the handle's like, it's not like a straight handle, so it's a bit weird. I guess actually if you practiced, you could probably compensate for it, so just ignore the disadvantage on throwing. but it's still a bit awkward. Okay, so that's the downtime, and we've now got a cartographers, a blacksmith, and a furrier. So we've got added to Haven's roster. We've got Burgle Stumblebeard at Brimbottom, Kotor Chainbrand. Also, I wrote his name down as Chainbrain. That's insane. And Hoskuld Knutson. Is he the son of Nuts?
He is. That's how Viking names work.
Actually, Knut. Just saying, it's
Knutsson.
Germanic. It's Knutsson.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not German, so it's
Well, it could be. You know, sometimes the K is silent. It's like in knob. It's like in a doorknob. Silent K. So it's Knutson.
No, but it's actually a northern name, so it's Knut.
sure,
Just saying.
Sure. You can choose
Lost
to
in
believe that.
translation. We'll just put it up to that. Got lost in translation.
Okay, so I think that's what everyone's been doing in the downtime. So I think we can move. Are you all meeting up in the tavern, or Robin, Asham, and Rakust? It seems like you've been plotting together in your downtime. Is
Yeah, I think
there's something
think-
that
yeah.
you need an extra man for?
the scene is maybe we're outside the blacksmith now. We've got the cameras behind us, and we get the three silhouettes of us, and we're just admiring and sort of sighing and looking at the finished piece. And there's the dwarf hammering away at his first sword.
I like the name, guys. Great name.
Oh, of course. I pat you on the back. Right. Now, we spent a lot of money lately. I think we need to go out and make some more. What do you say, lads?
I completely agree.
Sounds good. But let's beat up someone first.
Beat up? What do you mean, beat up?
Well, that's how I'd normally earn my money, by killing stuff.
All right, not in town. I told you about this. Not in town.
No,
Wait,
not
wait.
in town. We go outside and get paid for killing stuff.
Okay,
it's
right.
like win-win.
Say, Rakust, I heard you went to the ruined town. What was its name?
Belheim.
Oh, that one. There was a reward, right?
It's infested with fake creatures, but I think Templar Damien wanted us to slay the undead sealed underneath the church, or was it Duke von Aristov that wanted it? I can't remember.
You try and remember which one it is, and we'll go talk to them about a reward.
How about we go to the notice board and have a look?
That sounds like a
That's where
plan.
we might.
The-
That's where we might meet another person.
The notice board reads "A Scourge of Belkane," and it has been recently updated. The foul fae that occupy the ruins of Belkane have placed a curse upon it and enchanted its walls. I wish to see them rid, so that the good people of Haven may sleep peacefully in their beds at night. And I'll hereby offer a reward of 100 Imperials for whomsoever can prove this deed is done. Signed, Duke, His Most Esteemed Grace, Duke von Aristov, big red wax seal. So Kresic, are you by any chance just standing around at the notice board, looking like you need some money?
He might be. I mean, working hard can only get you so far before you need to kill someone to get money. So I think maybe he's been like, he's a paladin at heart, so he's been along with working. He's been doing his worship, with no actual church of his own, so he's probably like made a little shrine in wherever he's staying. But at some point he was told that he needs to go kill some stuff. Probably not in those exact words, probably in a much nicer way, but God's work needs to be done and he's ready to do it.
And
So,
he said
I
you
think
look
you-
really buffed and capable of doing such deeds.
Precisely, he is capable and has a big, great sword. So
Yeah, so if you were standing around the notice board, Asham would obviously see the great sword, which is probably bigger than him being a dwarf, and march up to you and look up to you and say, "Oi, stranger, you in for some business? Me and my friends over there, we're looking to have some fun outside of Haven and get paid for it."
Kresic definitely like raises an eyebrow and he's like, what kind of fun? And he like takes a step back.
Well, the last time we've had some fun outside of Haven, it involved killing stuff. Always good to be in a group of 4 people when killing stuff, I've noticed. You can cover all 4 corners.
Okay. And is there anyone...
You've got the greatsword. Can you use it?
Yes, I'm quite capable.
Well, you want to show me that you are?
Excuse me.
I grab his arm and try to pull him along. Come on, there's some money in it for you.
Where are we Can someone please explain what you're asking me to do
Don't worry
here?
about the Mister.
I need an
Someone tall.
adult.
We need someone tall. You're
Yeah,
a tall
the-
person.
The halfling makes the plans. We just go where he points us and kill stuff that he tells us to. That's how how it usually works when I'm around him. And don't worry,
We
it's
don't
always
know
bad
what we're
people.
doing yet. We don't know
I
what
mean-
we're doing.
You've heard the stories of the former bandit lord. It was us that took him down.
By the way, Kresic, you would recognize Rakust. He went with you and
Yeah.
killed the sludge. So
Yeah.
don't
I
need
think
to be
Kresic
afraid.
would- So I think Kresic would eventually recognize Rakust. It probably would take him a little while. But he'd be like, and he like is like, you Rakust, right?
Yes, it's me. How have you been, Kresic? Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah. That makes sense. And he like nods and he's like, so could you explain what the other dwarf is prattling on about?
I don't know him very well. I just know that he's a good fellow. He helped me out when I needed. And Robin, I've been with him out once. He's a lad that can be trusted as well.
So were you... And he like points at like the notice board and he's like, was there a job you wanted to take?
Well, we're looking for the one with the biggest payout. That's what we're looking for.
About that, Rakust. It says nothing about undead on this one. It says Fae. Wow, I'm not running around after fairies. That's not worth the coin.
Well, last week it said Scourge, so it got updated. I don't know. I don't remember.
We're not paying
Even
us to
I
kill
can read
undead
that.
anymore.
It says Fae. I ain't no fighting no pixies. My great axe can't hit them. But
Aye.
look there, there's another one. It says big fat wolves. I like them. Their pelts are worth something.
Oi, maybe Hawkskull can make use of them. We should maybe go and do that one. Do you think it's worth going asking the Duke if he wants some undead slaying? If not, we can just head on to the wolves.
Well,
All
you can
right.
always ask if he will pay us to take out the undead mojo in Beltane, but I am fair for slaying some wolves.
Alright. Yeah, it's worth asking anyway. Let's go and ask him.
Okay.
This
So
way.
it's the plan to ask the Duke or the Seneschal if you can get paid for killing the undead.
Yeah.
We
So-
weren't sure if the 100 gold were for the Fae or the
Okay.
undead, and we don't want to fight
So
Fae.
I think we cut to you standing outside the Duke's mansion, the door having just closed behind you, and somewhere in the dark recesses in a window we can see the Duke's Seneschal standing there in his dark blue robe with his immaculate goatee. And the information you learn is that Duke von Eristoff is interested in dealing with threats against Haven. The foul undead that lurks beneath the chapel is contained for the moment, according at least to previous adventurers and the Templar Damien. And while he recognizes it is a threat, it is not of immediate concern. The reward of 100 Imperials is offered only for the destruction of the Fae and the lifting of the vile illusion that covers Belcame. For he is concerned that their presence is exuding something into the nearby area.
Yeah, so we have that conversation. Robin turns to everyone and goes, Right, something about illusions, Faye. That sounds terrible. You
screw
can't hit
that.
illusions. You can't hit illusions. We're useless. We don't have a wizard, and I'm not. I'm probably the most magical of all of us, which that says something about our party.
Yeah, my magic are my fists.
Yeah. So I quite like the idea of going and get some wolf pelts.
We could make the new tenor in town. He can make us all new, cool pelt cloaks.
Exactly. Wearing this old white cape's getting a bit boring.
Well, yeah, you ripped up the last one and burned it. I've been there.
Well, yeah, kind of had to. Anyway, Asham, do you have flasks of oil? Because they're always useful, and we could always burn down another forest.
No. I should take down my shirt a bit. You see what the last time we burned something gave me? And my beard. My beard!
Yeah,
No,
but you can't deny
no
it.
flasks of oil, but the gnome fella, he gave me a map, and I know where this farmstead is that has posted this notice. So if you can read the map, we can go there, but no oils.
Well, I'm taking some oil myself. By the way, I do know where it is. I've been there the first time I went out. There's a hill I'm quite interested in looking at as well. I heard some folk tell that it's an interesting location up at the hill.
If you want to
Does your
buy
map say
some
anything
oil,
about that?
and if you want to burn something, why don't you get some ever-burning wood from Chaudi? I've heard it's a great offer.
Screw that. Anyway, I've already got my oil, and I tap my backpack, and you just hear like a glub glub.
Excellent.
Well, great. I look at the other two. Do you need something before we head out?
I don't think I need anything.
You need food.
I already have 9 rations.
All right,
I
we're
don't
fine
know.
then. Let's get going.
Okay,
So if it's cool,
Might be a good idea.
it was cool, you folks. We should check out the thing, whatever it is, on top of the hill before going to the farmstead.
Well,
only a
do you
day
want to do it before we kill the wolves or on the way back? What
Either
did
or.
you hear about the thing on the hill? What thing?
The first
What
time
hill?
I came, the first time I went venturing out, 2 guards folk. They were coming back from I don't know where they've been. Honestly, I didn't ask, but they said that we shouldn't go up the hill. It's dangerous. Maybe they were just bullshitting. I don't know. Worth having a look. We can at least
Danger
look.
sounds like treasure. I mean,
Exactly, danger equals treasure. Exactly how this works. So we'll have a look at least, and then decide whether we want to tackle that or the wolves. But obviously, we're getting paid for the wolves, so maybe the wolves first.
we don't know yet if we get paid for the wolves, but yeah.
Yeah, we do. It's on the notice board. It's 50 gold.
Big guy, you have rations and food?
Yeah, I have some rations. We're fine with that.
Okay.
All right, let's get going then, guys.
Okay, so I think it sounds like you want to do the head of the pack. Is this correct? Okay. And it also sounds like you want to check out the hill. Is this correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
interesting. So, the head of the pack is the farmstead, formerly Giles, has been having trouble with a violent pack of wolves emerging from the woods to the east, not to the west. Recently, a massive wolf has been spotted, and folk are certain it's the cause of the terrible attacks. A few hunters have ventured into the wood, but haven't returned, and Zhao Di is now offering a reward of 50 Imperials for the death of this terrible beast. And you know where Giles's farmstead is, and the tale is that these wolves are just emerging from the tree line straight to the east of Giles' farmstead. Do you have any questions that you want to ask to Zhao Di before you head out of town? Is there anything you can think of, like, oh yeah, we should find out if that wolf breathes fire and has wings and is
We should
actually
do this now.
Can I
Haven't
haggle
looked
him
out.
to increase the reward? If there's any chance, then I would go there. If not,
if you want to make a what would it be?
Persuasion.
Persuasion, yeah. Check.
would I not just like say we play dice for it? If I win, get a reward. If not, we do the job all the hastier.
No, like
No,
Jowdy
no.
would be more than happy to win money off you, but not when it mixes with business.
Okay.
So if you want, you can make a
I-
persuasion roll, but Zhao-Di's pretty stickler.
Asham, do you really think it's
Our
worth it?
talking halfling. More money is always worth it. Our talking halfling with persuasion roll, I assume.
All right,
So
Asham.
Robin, are you
If you really want
pressured
me to go and
into
talk.
to going in and talking to?
I
Jowdy?
pressured a halfling. I say
yeah,
you're
we're
better
outside,
with
you were like
birds.
nudging me. Go talk to him. Go talk to him.
So
He's a nice guy. I play dice with him all the time. You can talk to him. I'm backing you up.
I think we see a Sham, Kresic, and Rakust like standing outside the general store beside a barrel filled with hose, rakes, and scythes, and Robin like gets shoved through the door by a Sham as it closes. And inside, you see the familiar sight of the interior of the general store and the massive man that is Jowdy, 6'6", big burly arms, black leather doublet with a bird's crest on it, and he goes, "Ah, Robin, I'm afraid I'm all out of ever-burning wood. I sold it all to Eterblut. How can I help you?"
Of course you have. Right.
And you might wanna
Me
make a
and some
roll, by the
guys, we picked up your little notice about clearing out the farmstead.
Oh, not the farmstead. The farmstead's fine. It's the woods to the east. There's a pack of wolves out there that have been stirring up trouble. Oh no, nipping at the heels of the farmers I've hired. The hunter goes disappearing now and every then. But they're saying that there's one big beast, like the size of a cow big. And I reckon that's what's been stirring up the pack, making them all hungry.
I've seen bigger. Anyway,
I'm sorry, guys, but did Jowdy just say east? Because the notice clearly states the woods to the west of the farmstead.
Yeah, I already corrected that. It's to the east of the farmstead. Because to the
Okay.
west
so
of
anyway.
the farmstead is Haven. That's a typo on my count. Which I'll
fighting,
edit it right now.
fighting these wolves, these giant wolves, sounds like a dangerous venture. Me and my friends were thinking 50 gold's not really exactly adequate, and between 4 people, 80 gold splits a lot nicer.
Make a persuasion test.
Okay.
And he's like, simple beasts. Oh, 50 gold is more than necessary. I mean, if I thought the hunters could have done it, I would have paid less.
Yeah, I told Asham that. Anyway, all right. Does this wolf breathe fire by any chance?
Oh, yes, it's 80 feet big, has big scales, wings, and breathes fire. No, just a wolf, just a wolf.
Yeah, I thought so. Anyway,
I mean,
see you later, Jowdy.
I haven't seen it myself, but I haven't heard any reports of it breathing fire. If it has, you should bring me its fangs. I will gladly pay for ever-burning fangs.
All right, I'll bring you ever-burning fangs if they are ever-burning. Don't you worry about that. I'll see you later.
he chuckles to himself and you leave. So I think that's everything you want to do in town?
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
On the way, while we walk and talk, I complain about Robin. Should have let me done the talking. I'm way better at talking than you. Useless.
Okay, so I think we can take our first break here and we can hop back in with travel, which will probably be quite short.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you all for watching. This has been part 1 of Beyond the Bridge, and stare awkwardly at the cameras.